Hello, everyone, and welcome to Oracle Hour. This is my favorite time of the week, 5 p.m. Wednesdays, when I get to be with you here live and answer questions. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sabrina Rising. I am a spiritual mentor, an intuitive guide, and a psychic medium. And I love to channel universal intelligence. I love to answer questions for you on your journey. You could have questions about your spiritual practice, your personal development journey, anything that you might be struggling with in your life. I usually start off the session just making sure that we're live here also on Instagram. Here we go. I usually start off the session just by talking a little bit about the energy that we've got going on in the collective, what I'm feeling, what I'm going through personally, and that's applicable to you. And then we jump in and we answer questions live. So if you have something that you want to ask, if this is your first time here, don't be shy. You can type your question in the comment section and post it, and we answer questions on a first come first serve basis. Okay, thank you. Mendoza, hi Canada, hi Miss Jules, hello. Thank you for being here with me live. It's good to see you all. Okay, so let's talk about February. Let's talk about the month of love. I mean, this is where all of the energy is being focused on love and intensity and passion and desire. And, I know that Venus moved into Aries, and that's a very fiery sign. So that can really ignite some passion. It can also bring up some anger and some personal frustration and so on. So if that's you and that's something you're dealing with, I really want to take this time to invite you to learn how to love yourself on a much deeper level. So this is fierce self-love is what we're talking about tonight. And unconditional love, metta, as I like to refer to it as, is different than personal love. So personal love can be seen as romantic love. It can be seen as a love between two individuals or between you and another loved one or many loved ones. And it's very different than universal love. Universal love is sort of a non-judgmental, compassionate, soft, ever-present, calm, peaceful experience that we all have access to. And the goal when we're on a healing journey, whatever it is that you might be going through in your life, if you're struggling with, your personal life, you're struggling with your health or your work or your finances or whatever area of your life you're experiencing pain in, the key to healing this area is to really learn how to embody this universal love, this quality of universal love, and to come to this area with acceptance, with compassion, with non-judgment. When we let go of the judgment, we start to gain clarity on what to do, what serves our highest and best good. Is it for us? Is it not for us? And this is part of what I do here during Oracle Hours. I channel this guidance on your behalf so that you can have access to the truth for yourself and whatever it is that you're troubled with. And so as we're talking about, embodying universal love, how do we get to this universal love frequency, right? So as I mentioned earlier, universal love is very different vibrationally than personal love. Personal love is about attachment. It's about feeling good. It's about, feeling safe and secure, feeling a sense of belonging. And these are all normal needs that we need met as humans. But as we evolve, and we are getting those needs met on a regular basis, we want to be able to expand our capacity for love, to elevate our capacity for love, and to have it be less of a personal experience and more of an overall way of being in the world. And when we start to embody this quality of universal love, we become more loving with ourselves, and we automatically become more loving with others. And so, my wish for you is that you start to embody this quality of unconditional love, of universal love for yourself. Start with wherever it hurts or wherever you might be, whatever area you might be struggling with. It can be something that you're judging. It can be a physical symptom. It can be, a repeating pattern, a self-destructive behavior, whatever it is that's causing you suffering. Start with embodying that, embracing that with unconditional love and compassion and non-judgment, and allow this experience of universal love to expand within you. It's also helpful to have a daily practice. So, if this is new to you and, you're kind of struggling to understand what I'm talking about and you don't know the difference between personal love and universal love, the best way to get access to this energy is to start with a spiritual practice. So, for those of you that aren't meditating yet, I highly recommend it. I talk about this every week. Develop a mindfulness practice where you sit down with yourself every day for 5 to 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be a big, long thing. And start to breathe into your diaphragm so you can slow down the central nervous system. Put your hand on your heart and start with cultivating the energy at the center of the heart and really visualizing that part of your life that needs your unconditional love, your compassion. What would that part of your life look like if you didn't resist it, if you just accepted it, if you just gave it love, if you just allowed it to be what it is instead of judging it for what it's not? Okay. And this is the path to developing this awareness of universal love, which again is something we all have access to, right? It's at the core, it's at the center of us, it's underneath all of the conditioning that we've gone through throughout the course of our lives, especially in our early childhood. At the essence of who we are really vibrates at this level of universal love. And so our work here as humans is to be able to gain access to this core essence of universal love so that we can start to experience life from this place, to view life from this place, and ultimately to attract experiences in life from this place. So this is my message of love for you tonight. Let it start with yourself. Let it come from within, and let it be something that really expands and allows you to soften the relationship you have with yourself. And you'll see how it softens the relationship you have with others and how it changes your experience on a day-to-day basis. Okay, I'm going to take a drink of water. Oh, wow, we have quite a few people here tonight. It's good to see you all. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, great. So with that said, Lacey, I have my trusted moderator here. I will take the first question. Hi, Miss Jules. Miss Jules says, hello, Sabrina. Can I please ask for your insights around a life partner companion for me? Thank you very much. Yes, you can. In fact, if you have somebody in mind, you can type in their name. And if you want to keep that confidential, that's okay too. I can just channel what I feel and we'll go from there. Okay. So the first thing I feel when I tune into your energy, Miss Jules, is that I'm single and no one. Okay. So I feel like this is something that you've been wanting for quite some time. Okay. And so that's the first thing I feel like, this is something you've been longing for. And there's really like this perception of lack, and this is, first of all, I want to validate that this is normal. Okay. So if you're longing for a partner, you're longing for, a special someone, and we're just talking about, developing this practice of unconditional love for yourself, this would be the best place to start in order to start attracting someone that you can create a loving partnership with. Okay. Because this has been something that you've been sort of longing for and you've been, wanting, and I feel like there's been some disappointment, some letdown, some, unmet needs in this area. Even in past relationships, they haven't been very fulfilling. And so it seems like there's a wound here. Okay. And so this is something that I would spend some time really healing within yourself. So taking the time, as I mentioned earlier, in your daily practice, to put your hand on your heart, focusing in on your heart center, cultivating that experience of unconditional love for yourself, really seeing yourself as lovable, as valuable, as worthy of love. This is going to help bring someone into your life. I do feel like there is somebody in your immediate vicinity, not too far away. It can be someone that knows you, or that maybe someone that you work with, or someone that that you maybe see occasionally in your neighborhood. It feels like someone who's in your community, but that you have that connection hasn't been fully made yet. And I feel like that's coming. Okay. So there is, there is this sense of it being imminent when I tune into your specific energy. So I want to give you that encouragement. And I also want to empower you with this practice of learning to really love yourself and really view yourself as lovable and really view yourself as worthy of love. The other thing I want to say too, Ms. Jules, is that, I would advise you to start trusting love. So some affirmations around it's safe to love, I give myself permission to love. I'm willing to trust the experience of love. There's something about, making yourself vulnerable that's really scary, and this is human. This is not just for you, it's for anybody watching. Okay, so I really want you to focus on seeing yourself as lovable, seeing yourself as worthy of love, and then you're going to start to notice more opportunities for love, including this one energy that I'm feeling that's kind of in your, like I said, it's in your community, it's in your immediate environment. And it feels like there's a shift here in the energy where this person starts to make his way towards you. This is, like I said, it's been a long time coming. So yeah, if you have any more questions about what I've said, or if you need any further clarification, I'm happy to elaborate on this. But this would be my insight for you. My insight is to really focus on developing your own relationship with self and really loving you and putting, making sure you're meeting your own needs in this realm. And I also, yes, it has. Do you feel it? Miss Jill says, yes, it has. Do you feel it this year? Yeah, I actually feel it like in the next 3 months. Usually the information that I get like immediate is usually within now to 3 month period, maybe 6 months maximum. And so, yeah, I need you to go out more. I need you to start to move around in your community more, do more things, and maybe go to the flower shop or go to the library or go sit in a coffee shop for an afternoon and something. And that, I think, will start to also help things along and connect you with this person that I see that's sort of imminent in your very near future. So you'll have to come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. Okay. I hope that's helpful, Miss Jules. Hey, Canada. Mwah. I love you for being here. Do you have any questions? Hi, Rhonda. Nice to see you. Angela says, what does spirit have as a message regarding my career this year? Oh, okay, good. Let me see. I apologize. I have a tickle in my throat. So, what does spirit have in store for Angela? So, I think we've talked about this before, so I just want to acknowledge that that the first thing I feel when I close my eyes is big completion. Okay, so there's a big project that's getting complete. It actually feels like it's got some construction involved. So I don't know if there's a renovation or a reconfiguration is a better word of space in your workplace, something to do with rebuilding or remodeling or reconfiguring something. It's a big project that has been sort of needing your attention for some time, and that gets complete this year, and that's going to feel really good. I feel like a lot of burden is being lifted off of you, and you'll have an opportunity to really relax and kind of enjoy all the hard work that you've done. It's kind of like you're coming at the end of this cycle of having to really be almost in like a triage in the career situation. It feels like a triage situation, and it's you're finally on the other side of that. So there's a lot of peace and a lot of calm. And a lot of sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in your work this year, which is great news, and I think the test for you this year will be to learn, kind of like when you're so busy for such a long time and all of a sudden there's not a lot of work left to do. It's like, who am I? And so the challenge this year is for you to cultivate your identity, to embrace this new version of you that doesn't have all of this burden. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge this year, as well as just to really learn to let go and to trust that new things are coming, and that it's okay to not be busy all the time. right? So I feel like a completion of a project, and that's going to be successful, and a little bit of stress along that process, but it's going to work out. And then there's this period of reprieve, this kind of a pause in the busyness, that's going to invite you to think about what you want to create next. Does that make sense to you? Let me know if are there new things coming? Angela says, are there new things coming? I mean, yes, there's always new things coming. So the real question is, are there things coming that are going to excite you, that are going to fulfill your purpose, you're going to want to take advantage of and jump on? Yes, but you have to let go. You have to make room for these things. So there's a part of you, and this is unconscious, that's kind of used to the identity you've had for a really long time. So you're really holding on tight to that identity, and maybe a little bit concerned about, letting go, and what does that mean for your life. So, and this is something that I've dealt with in my own life. When you've done something for so long, and you move into this space of what feels like a void, and then you're recreating this new identity over here. So that void experience can be really uncomfortable. And I just invite you to just stay with it and trust that new things are coming, and that it's going to be, they're going to be good, very good opportunities for you. In fact, I feel like you might have a choice in terms of where you want to focus next. I see you joining a group, or it's a little bit different than what you're doing now. It feels more like now you're in the work, and now this feels more like either you're consulting, or you're on a board, or you're just kind of overseeing things. So it feels like you're joining this group, and there's going to be this opportunity to oversee things. I don't know if this is something that you're visualizing or wanting for yourself, but I see a vision of you sort of doing that type of work, from, I don't know, I want to say like it's a combination of work from home and being on location type of situation. Does this make sense? Angela says, I do. Okay, good. So so that's what I see. I see like, more consultancy role, sort of you being maybe on an advisory board, and you really using your wisdom. You have a lot of wisdom and collected experience over the years in the fields that you've worked in, that are in kind of high demand. And I feel like once people know that you're available, Angela says, I want to oversee something much bigger than I have been doing. Okay, good. Perfect. So this is what I see exactly, as you say that, like you overseeing bigger projects and joining a group. So I feel like you've been working mostly alone. So this actually puts you in more of a community setting, which is great for you at this time in your life to be able to share your wisdom. I think it's really going to give you energy. It's really going to feed your energy, and feed your need to be seen and valued and acknowledged for the gifts that you have. So, yeah. Angela says, do you see this happening this year? I mean, so here's what the timeline questions are really up to you, right? So I see this happening. So this is a potentiality in your life based on your current energy, based on the trajectory that you're on, and whether or not how fast it happens is entirely up to you. You have control over that. Okay, so I can't determine that for you because you have free will. And so this is for you, and for anybody who's asking questions or watching the live or even watching the replay. You get to determine that by believing in the vision that you have for your life, by holding that frequency, by embodying it, by trusting that it's going to happen, and by saying yes to the right opportunities as they come. So you have to show up and do the work. I mentioned earlier that there's some things that you have to let go of in order to make space for this new opportunity. So just doing all of those things and showing up fully for your life is going to help accelerate this process. And I feel like it's going to happen this year. 2025 is a year of action. It's a year of tangible results. It's a year of a lot of the culmination of everything we've been preparing for, all our hopes and dreams for so many of us, for the collective. So I would say that there's a really good chance it's happening this year, and you have the power to accelerate that by bringing your beliefs and your actions and your feelings about what's happening all in alignment with what you deeply desire. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Okay. Hi, Miss Makaya. Thank you for being here. What did Miss Jules say? Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so Wendy Serby. Hi, Wendy. Welcome. Wendy says, hi, first time here. Welcome. Welcome. I'm so glad you could join us. Wendy says, do you see any big life changes coming up? I apologize, my cell phone. Okay, so do you see any big life changes coming up for my family? Job changes or big moves? Okay, Wendy, let me see what I can channel for you. Um, Okay, so I don't know if you're moving to a different country or have been contemplating. I don't know if it's a different country, but it's a move. It feels like a big move. I don't know if it's you that's moving or if there are family members that are coming to live where you are. But it feels like a coming together of your family that requires some moving parts. So it requires some readjustments and making space for new family members. It feels like there's an addition to the family as well. So this could mean so many things. It could mean, um, like I said, new family members are coming in and into your immediate circle. So you'll have to sort of fill in the gaps to see how if this resonates for you in your life. But there are big changes in your family life. The other thing I want to say to you, Wendy, that comes in right on the heels of that message is to I feel like you do a lot in your family, and you're sort of the linchpin, the connector, that's the one that sort of holds it all together, that brings people together. And one of the things that I really want to offer you is just to take that space for yourself and to make sure that you're not overdoing, like kind of exhausted and not paying attention to your own personal health and your own personal needs and boundaries. Okay, so every time I see like a lot of family dynamics and interactions and the busyness of that in a reading, I always caution for proper boundaries and proper self-care. So there is some of that you need, and I think that I think time away from home, and that could be, again, this could be the new job that you're visualizing for yourself or wanting for yourself, would be good, will be very healthy for you. It'll actually help bring some balance into your life. Right now, it feels like things are a little bit out of balance. When he says, I'm always busy, LOL. Yeah, I mean, you really need to slow down and take that time for yourself and really focus on your self-care. I know sometimes we get different messages than what we really desire, but we always get the messages that we need. And so I really want you to focus on and taking care of yourself and taking space and making sure that you're putting your own needs first. Of course, this is advice I would give to anybody, but I really feel that prevalent in your energy. So again, I don't know if there's people that are coming to move into your area or if you're going there, but it seems like your family's growing and there's more people coming around you, and that there's a need for boundaries. There's a need for you to set boundaries and to not be so focused on making sure everybody's happy and everyone is like content and so on. Like you're not responsible for other people's experience and other people's emotions. All right, so really just learning to take a step back, letting people have the experience they're supposed to have, and focusing on the things that really matter to you. Let me just see about the job. I think that you've been applying to jobs. It feels like you've been sort of looking. I don't know if you're currently looking for something else, but there's something in the writing field or something to do with writing that I think is going to be very beneficial for you. And so keep an eye out for that. My kids are out of state. Okay, good. So either you're going there or they're coming here. Could I be the one going to one of them by retiring? Okay. So this is what I see. The family's coming together. So you're either going there or they're coming to you. It's my husband looking. Okay. So I think that, okay, so that makes sense. I think that the writing that I'm seeing is still you, but it's maybe not necessarily work related. It can be something that you're doing part-time, or it can be something that you're doing as a volunteer or to help other people, but it's something that you're doing that is beneficial to you. And it's going to be, yeah, it kind of expands. It's something that you need for your own personal expansion. Okay. So again, it could be something that's even part-time, that you're doing. But I want you to focus in on writing and learning, starting to either keep a personal journal or start to do some writing for yourself. That message is coming through very clearly. And it could be you going to them. So, that if that makes more sense in your family dynamic, but there is a coming together, a family, and that's something to look forward to in 2025 for all of you. I know that you're saying your husband is looking. Let me see if I can tune in for him. I don't know if if your husband is driving. Feel like he's doing a lot of driving, or maybe he's a driver for work, or has been a driver before. Or maybe that's the job that's coming. But I feel like even the job that he gets is something that you can relocate with. So that'll be a good thing for your family, and I think you want to be closer to your kids. It seems like there's a need for that as well. Even I feel like one of your daughters needs that. They need you to they need to be close to their immediate family. And that's something that you're aware of. So I feel like that's what's coming in 2025. Let me know if that resonates for you. Randy says he was sent back to the office. Far right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So I think that, like I said, I think that there is a relocation happening in this work situation. So, yeah, so maybe he's, commuting far to go to work, but whatever he's doing is something that he can relocate with. So if you're contemplating moving out of state to go join your family members, that's happening in 2025 for you. Okay. I hope that's helpful, Wendy. Good. I'll take the next question. Okay. Hi, Tanari. Sabrina. Tanari says, "Hi, Sabrina. Question: Do you see me moving out of Florida this year?" Wendy says, "Thank you. You're welcome, Wendy. You're welcome. I'll come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. Okay. Do you see me moving out of Florida this year? Let me see." I feel like you've been trying to leave Florida for some time. This is not a new initiative. I feel like every time you try to make this attempt to leave, something holds you back, or something prevents you from being able to move forward. So, and there's a reason for that. So I want you to focus on what it is that's keeping you there, and making sure that you've sort of, embraced your environment. You've done the work that you need to do in your environment. There's something about being in Florida that ties you to your family. I want to say it ties you to your dad. And so there's something in that dynamic, in that relationship. Money. Okay. Money is what ties you to Florida. Okay. So here's what I want to say. There's something in your relationship with your dad. This is what's coming through, that I would like you to focus on healing, and that will help you it will sort of unblock your relationship to many, many things, including your relationship to money. And that will give you the resources that you need in order to be able to make this move happen. Okay, so this is what's keeping you stuck, right? So it's what I'm feeling. A thing that's keeping you blocked, you're saying it's money, but it's never just money. It's always, what does money represent? What's the energy behind it? What's your relationship to it? It's really about, do I have the resources? Can I move forward? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to be provided for? And so there's something in your relationship with your dad that I would really look deeply into, that you could heal. And if you healed that, it would really open things up for you. Okay. And it would create this path of abundance. Yeah. I mean, and so whether or not he's alive makes no difference. I mean, if you want to join my mediumship demonstration, I'm holding one on March 1st. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. For those of you that are looking to connect with your loved ones that have crossed over, I hold a mediumship demonstration every few months, and I connect you with your loved ones. There's something in your dynamic with your father. It doesn't matter if he's in the earthly realm or not in the earthly realm. The dynamic lives within you. And so there's something in that connection that if you did the inner work to really heal that, it would unblock a lot of things for you. Okay. So mediumship would be a really powerful tool that you could use, that you could, if you gave yourself permission to have access to that, you could connect with your father, and that dialogue would be so healing and so beneficial for both of you. Okay. And I've seen this happen time and time again in my readings. Mediumship can be a miraculous way to heal, especially to get complete with our loved ones, especially when that relationship was tense or incomplete. Okay, so this is what I feel for you. I think that it would be good to do some inner work so you can unblock your relationship to abundance, and then from there you'll have the resources to do whatever you need to do for your life. Okay, that's my message for you. You're welcome. Okay, next question. Hi, AC. AC says, I keep attracting men with kids. I do not have kids myself. Should I stay open to men with kids? Well, how do you feel about men with kids? I mean, it really depends on, what you want. And I think you should always be open to love. I think sometimes we have this preconceived notion about, what it is that we're looking for, and being attached to a certain idea can limit us, right? So, I think that there's some reflection there that needs to happen in terms of, what do kids represent, right? What do they represent for you? Is this something that, you feel like it's just not for you. It's just not something you feel called to hold space for. It's not something you want to accommodate. Really get honest with yourself about what it is that you're looking for, and then be very. So AC says, I'm afraid that it will block me from living a nicer lifestyle. I see. Interesting. Well, okay. So this is a limiting belief, first and foremost. Okay. So I just want to call that out. I think if you want to create a nicer lifestyle for yourself, you have the power to do that. And if you're open to love and open to being loved, children can be a wonderful source of love too. So I would keep an open mind and really let go of any attachments you have to what you want love to look like, and allow it to just find you. Allow yourself to attract the possibility of being loved, of being in a reciprocal relationship with someone who respects you, someone who wants to love you. And let me see what else is AC saying. Is there more coming through, Lacey? AC says, like he would want to spend on his kids versus what I want to do. Well, I mean, that's something that you have to make room for, right? When you date someone who has children, of course, their children are also a priority. And, but, this is coming from a scarcity mindset, that there's some kind of limitation or lack of abundance available, that if money were to be spent on children, that it would automatically mean there would be less for you. Okay, so that means that there's not an infinite amount of abundance. There's only a limited amount of abundance available. So I would do some work around your mindset around abundance and feeling like you're getting all of your needs met and that you're open to receiving love. And keeping in mind that money is a form of love. And so when you open your heart to receiving love, you're also opening your heart to receiving more abundance. Okay. I think that, that's what needs to happen. Like if you go into it, thinking that you're limited in what you can have in the relationship, you're not going to be happy with that relationship, whether he has kids or not. Okay. So it's, again, doing the inner work to shift your mindset, to opening up your belief in love and abundance and the power you have to receive. This will help shift the energy for you. Okay. And I think if you keep attracting men with kids, AC says, interesting because all I've seen is women sacrificing for their kids. Well, that's why you have this fear, right? This is exactly why you have this limiting belief that kids mean sacrifice, right? And there's a aversion to sharing space or sharing resources, love being a resource, with children. Okay. So there's some healing work here for you to do so that you can, again, soften the edges of your judgments and your fears and really move out of scarcity and into abundance mindset around love. And just because that's what you've seen doesn't mean that's all there is. So I don't want that. I understand you don't want that. And I don't want that for you either. I don't want you to feel like you have to sacrifice. We're not meant to live life that way. Okay. This is based on your conditioning. Okay. A lot of people sacrifice because they think that that's what they have to do in order to be happy, in order to survive. We're coming out of survival mode and we're stepping into the energy of thriving, of manifesting, of creating a life that we love, of expanding our hearts and living in the realm of infinite possibilities. This is what I'm talking about. And this is what you come here every week to learn. And this is what's available to you. So if you step out of limitation and lack and step out of the hardship and the strife of the experiences that you've witnessed and really start to heal from some of those experiences that you've witnessed and have been through, you'll see that love can be a beautiful thing and that there's a healthy love available to you, and you might be pleasantly surprised with a man who has wonderful children and a family that's ready to love you. And it can look very different for you if you so choose it. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope that's helpful. You'll have to come back and let me know how this unfolds for you. Yeah, I want you to stay open and you're welcome. I want you to stay open and do the inner work and really trust that you can create something very, very different for your life. And it doesn't have to be like what you've witnessed before and what you've experienced. And there's nothing for you to be afraid of. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want to say. So great. Okay. Any other questions this evening? Hi, Jolie. Welcome back. Let me take another sip of water. Jolie says, hi, Sabrina. Do you see me pivoting to be more of an advocate for my daughter? Will that be more prominent for me? That's an interesting question. So the first thing I feel is that your daughter actually needs more of your attention. And I don't know if she has a special need or some kind of, there's something about your daughter where she's still learning to feel empowered. Okay. There's something going on with her where she really needs you to sort of step in and, as you say, advocate. So yes, I think it's something that you sort of have been aware of for some time. And I feel like it's going to, I feel like, you're going to see an opportunity for you to step in and do something for her that she's been needing for quite some time. And it's going to be so beneficial to her. Yes, she has autism. Okay. So that's what I'm sensing when I say special need. And so I feel like there's an opportunity. It's either like a new program or a school or a new type of therapy or something that she can be enrolled in, that you're going to take the initiative for this on her behalf, and it's going to be wonderful for her. And what I was about to say, before was um, some in this process, she's going to learn more independence. Okay, so you're actually going to be more involved so that you can be less involved, if that makes sense. That's what it feels like. And so I see a very clear vision of her learning to be a bit more independent, a little bit more, capable of doing things without your assistance. It's going to be so good for her, and it's going to be so good for you too. She's learning self-esteem. She's learning to be more self-confident, and she's learning some new skills as well. Communicating has been a challenge for her. And so she's learning a new way to communicate as well. That's going to, it's going to make, it's going to help her mature. Okay, good. I'm glad that makes sense. I feel like it's going to help her mature more, and it's going to take the pressure off you as well, of her having to do everything for her, having to make sure she's okay, having to make sure that she's heard and seen and understood. So I feel like you've taken a lot of that on for yourself. And so this is a good way to empower her, and at the same time create some loving detachment for yourself. The experience of just detaching and just trusting that she's going to be okay. I feel like she's high functioning, and she has a really gentle spirit, a really beautiful spirit, and she's going to have more ease with her communication. And so I think you're going to be very pleased with that. Jolie says, right now I'm fighting to keep her in a school. Okay, that makes sense. That can meet her needs, and I sense it could transform into another program better suited for her. Yes, this is a 1000% what I see, as I just mentioned. So you're enrolling her in something, it's a different school actually. So there is this change, and I think that part of your concern is the resources, having the resources to put her in this program or to put her in this new school. But that's going to be, she is high functioning. Okay, good. So she is, I don't know where you are, if you're in Canada or not. I don't know if you want to tell me your location. Maybe we can. I have a friend who has a child who has autism, who's in a school that's amazing. So I feel like there's a program that's better for her, that might require some more resources, but I feel like there's a financial aid. I'm in the States. Okay, gotcha. So there's some kind of financial assistance or something like that that's going to make this possible for you. Okay, so don't be discouraged. I want you to really, it feels like you're going to have to, make some kind of application, write letters, that kind of thing. Go through the process. It's going to be so worth it for you and so worth it for her. You will have support, and it's going to be great for both of you. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's helpful. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, next question. Delicious. Hi, Delicious. Okay, I will look for this. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. So just in case you're not complete, there are schools near you. Okay. Now you're welcome, Jolie. There are schools near you. I want you to do a little bit of research and really, really focus in on that, because I feel like there are schools in your area. And so, don't be discouraged, and come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. Okay, good. Okay, Delicious. Delicious says, hi, Sabrina. How do I know if my intuition is right about a person? Oh, I love this question. Sometimes I think I'm just crazy. Join the club. Also, do you see a romantic relationship in my life this year? Okay, good. So, yes. I mean, look, following your intuition can feel like, illogical at times. But if you feel it, your body always knows. Okay. So if you can trust the sensations in your body, even just as a beginning, this is a great place to start in terms of cultivating your relationship with your intuition. Okay. So just trusting the hit that you get right in your solar plexus, right in the core of you, that the first response is always the correct one. Okay. What happens when we get an intuitive hit is that the ego mind will kick in and say, yeah, but I don't know about that, or I don't know about this, or what if this happens? What if that happens? The logical mind will take over and drown out the voice of the intuition. So I want you to start developing your intuition by sitting quietly, breathing in and out of your diaphragm, getting still, closing your eyes, letting the mind do whatever it does, but really focusing in on the sensations of the body. That's where you need to put your attention. So you can start trusting your intuition and start trusting that you're not crazy. You're just, sometimes you see things and feel things. I actually feel like you get visions, and you can confirm this if you like, but I feel like you get very clear visions, sometimes some clairvoyant hits of what's to come or what you should do. And so you know um, I want you to trust that and start developing it. You can start recording it too, recording stuff in your journal as you start developing your intuition. I think that's going to be very, very helpful for you. What are you saying, Delicious? Oh, yes, Delicious says, yes, I do. Okay, good. So I see that very clearly, that you get these clairvoyant hits. So, just learn to trust them, learn to write them down. Again, your body doesn't lie. Okay. So you don't have to have special gifts to do the work I'm doing. You don't have to be born gifted. You don't have to, practice for many, 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 many years. It's just a matter of developing this relationship with your body where you trust what you feel. Now, it's very important as you're developing your intuition to have as we're talking about building a relationship with the body is, it's important for it to be clear, right? So you want to be clear of mood altering substances. You want to be clear of reactions and fear and nervousness and anxiety. You want to be in a calm, serene, clean place physically in order to be able to channel information and to really trust the guidance that you're receiving. Okay. So just some foundational things in terms of developing your intuition, really just, listening for that first hit and trusting it and just going with it. And you can start small. Like your question was, how do I know if I'm right about a person? If you can feel it, and if it's a feeling that doesn't leave you, if it's a recurring feeling that's kind of stays with you lingering, you have two choices. You can trust your intuition and take space and maybe stay away from that person, or you can have a transparent conversation with that person and start asking questions to see if, what you're feeling is accurate. Okay. So again, depending on the circumstances and if that's available, I would in this particular case, I would really start trusting your gut. Okay. I think you've got a very, very clear intuition. You just need to learn to develop it a little bit more. Okay. I hope that's helpful. Okay. Start with your daily spiritual practice, as I mentioned at the beginning, and breathing and just, asking your higher self very clear questions, yes or no questions, and then always going with the first response. Okay. Good. Okay, next question. Hi, Daniela. Thanks for stopping by. Daniela says, now that I've eliminated so much negativity from my life, what's next for me? Congratulations first of all, for eliminating all of this negativity from your life. I really want to acknowledge you. I know that I feel like that took a lot of courage, and I feel like it's been a long time coming for you. Like you've had to make some very hard choices and some painful ones at that. Yeah. And, just, it feels like a break. So I don't know if it's a breakup or just a break from the lifestyle that you were living, or both. Let me see. What else am I feeling for you, Daniela? Yeah, I really feel a lot of masculine, toxic energy, like toxic masculine energy around you. So I actually think it would be good for you to take a long pause and just be by yourself for a while. That's the message I'm getting, is that there's been a lot of sort of chaos and a lot of um, Yeah, a lot of volatility in your energy, in your relationships. So I would take a long pause and really just focus on you, and you know having fun, and doing the things that you want to do. The feeling of freedom, like personal freedom and personal autonomy, is the message that's coming through for you. This is what's next in terms of, and it's not a permanent thing, it's just for the next phase of your life. I would say the next 3 to 6 months, really focus on cultivating your autonomy, and giving you doing things for yourself that it kind of felt like, it kind of feels like you were suppressed or repressed or weren't able to do the things that you really wanted to do. And I don't know if that was in your previous relationship, or you just kind of felt like your hands were tied, and you couldn't do the things that you fully wanted to do for yourself. So this is your time to sort of spread your wings and just enjoy and do some things for you. There is going to be, I do see relationships, coming into your life, new relationships coming into your life, but not for some time. Okay, so this is a really good time for you to just kind of take a step back from your life, and spread your wings, and really do some things that you've really been desiring to do. I feel like you're in a good place for that. You've got the resources, you've got the time, and you have the support. I feel like you've got a good group of friends as well. So really focusing in on just being free and cultivating that personal autonomy. This is one of our highest values as humans, is our personal autonomy. And this is a theme for you that I see in the next few months. Okay, Danielle, I hope that's helpful. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, next question. We have time for one more. You're so welcome, Danielle. You're so welcome. Come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. Hi, Rhonda. Oh, hi, Agatha. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're coming to you in a second. Rhonda says, hello, Sabrina. I've been listening to you for about a month, and I have noticed the language you use, positive, how important it is to speak differently, outwardly and inwardly. How important is it? Yes, I mean, language is everything, right? So this is like, we're like, you've probably heard the saying about how, when we're spelling, we're casting spells, right? And so when we're using language, we're really creating our reality. So the words we use shape the house that we live in. And it's very important to have positive inner dialogue as we have positive, dialogue with other people, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we talk to others. All of this is manifesting your reality. It creates words have vibrational frequency, and so that has power, and that power will conjure up the life that you're living. So it's very important. It's very important to have language that is loving and uplifting and empowering and open-ended, and that speaks to the realm of infinite possibilities. Okay. It's Yeah, I would say that your inner dialogue and your outer dialogue need to match, okay, in terms of what it is that you want to manifest. So if you want to create loving relationships in your life, then you have to develop this loving relationship with yourself, and you start by using that language, okay. And you'll see a shift in your energy when you speak to yourself more lovingly, and you'll see a shift in your relationships when you speak to those other people more lovingly. So again, the words we use, as I mentioned, shape the house, build the house that we live in. So be mindful of the language that you're using, and trust that whatever you're putting out there is what you're creating. Okay. So if you don't want something, then be mindful of the language that you're using, and learn to shift your language around what you're saying. Okay. Rhonda says, that sounds lovely. I'm all in. Good. I'm so glad you're all in. I'm so happy to have you. Okay. Here we go. I saw Agatha. Where's Agatha? Let's see what Agatha is asking. Here we go. There we go. Hi, Sabrina Rising. Just in general, anything the spirit wants to tell me about my blind spots. Okay, good. And first of all, welcome to Oracle Hour. It's good to see you. First of all, I feel like you've come a really long way. There's been a lot of shifts and a lot of transformation. That your energy is very, very different. Um, you know, Spirit wants me to tell you to have to sort of be more light with yourself. So have learn to laugh at yourself a little bit more, learn to have a sense of humor about what you're doing and not doing. Sometimes you can be very harsh with yourself, like harsh with your own, um, just inner critic. Your inner critic comes out and can be a little bit, um, difficult, heavy. The energy feels heavy. So Spirit wants you to lighten up and just really. And I feel, like I said, I feel like you've come a long way, especially even in this realm. So just trusting that you're always getting the information you need at the time that you receive it, and that sometimes we're not aware of something, and it's okay because it's not meant to happen in that moment. Okay. I want you to just focus on what you're doing. It feels like, there's something in your energy that feels a bit more creative, even a bit more artistic, a bit more self-expressed. And so, this is really good for you. It's been very good for you to sort of come out of these societal constructs and even these mental constructs that are within you, and learn to be more free. And I feel like freedom, and I think I just gave this message to someone else about, personal autonomy and personal freedom is a very important to you. It's a very high value that you place on life. And so continuing to expand upon that. And I also want to say that there is a need for friendship and community coming this year. Okay. So more, connections, more community, leaning into a place, like maybe even thinking about staying, or finding a location that's like, where you can stay longer term. There's a more of a need for community and connection and friendship coming through this year for you. So just embracing that and allowing yourself to trust people, to let them in, and to, make yourself vulnerable and to make those connections. There's more community coming in for you this year. That's a very clear message I get for you. And and just surrender and softness. Okay. We're living in Mexico. Friendships have come to very, very few. Gotcha. Good. So Mexico feels like I don't know if this is more of a long-term decision at this point. But I feel like it's time for you to build community. So this is the message that's coming through. And there's a longing for that, right? There's a craving for that. Like, whether it's other families, other transplants, people that have moved there with you, but there's a need for community. And I feel like you're in a good place to create that. Okay. Energetically. And so you just need to shift the beliefs around, humans and them being trustworthy and them being available and you being able to manifest deep and meaningful relationships with like-minded people. If you can believe it, you will see it. You just have to embody those beliefs and trust that process of unfolding, and you'll see that this is going to shift. Okay. This is something that needs to shift for you and for Marchin and your baby as well. Okay. So I see that that's all shifting this year. So just to let it happen, allow yourself to be open to the possibility and trusting that it can find you where you are living in Mexico for sure. Okay. And come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. I hope that's helpful. Good. All right. 6 o'clock, or almost 6 o'clock. I don't know where the hour goes by, but this is so fun. I always have such a good time channeling universal intelligence on your behalf. I hope the messages that came through tonight, I get this as true and true. Nice to hear. Good. All right. Beautiful. Sending you so much love. Thank you for everybody who stopped by, who asked questions. I'm always deeply honored to be able to guide you, that you trust me with your questions and with my insights. If you desire a deeper dive, if you want an hour of my undivided attention, the links to book a reading with me are below. For those of you that are, we're going to post them at the end of the video. For those of you that are desiring mediumship, so that is a connection with your loved ones that have crossed over. If you want to, I'm hosting a, there's a link for the one-on-one. Thank you, Lacey. I'm hosting a live mediumship demonstration on March 1st. And this is a special workshop that I'm hosting. It's not like a regular mediumship demonstration. It's a 2-hour workshop where we're really focusing on forgiveness and getting complete with our loved ones that have crossed over, those that we perhaps feel like we have some unresolved issues with, whether those are resentments or trauma or pain or things left unsaid, or you just feeling complete with this person. This is the workshop for that. So we'll be able to connect with our loved ones that have crossed over and really make peace with them so that we can have peace in our hearts and ultimately peace in our lives. Okay, so forgiveness is never about condoning what happened. It's really just about accepting it and letting it go so that we can live unburdened and we can tap into more joy. Okay, so that's the link to book the mediumship demonstration, and that's March 1st at 10 a.m. Pacific. For those of you that want to learn how to channel, how to facilitate, how to hold space for others, if you are called to being of service in this way, if you want to learn how to guide others, intuitively, regardless of the modality that you choose, I have a facilitator training certification program that I have launched. It's my first community class, and it starts on February 27th. So there's the link for the facilitator training. You can check that out, and you can always message me. You can leave a comment here, get in touch with me, and ask questions, and hopefully, I'll be able to answer them, and we'll find you in the facilitator training program if that resonates for you. Feel free to subscribe, to like the video, to tell your friends about it, and if you enjoyed this content, and if you have any questions or comments you'd like to leave, I always love to hear from you. Okay, it's good to see you all. I will see you next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Thanks for joining me. Good night.